All right, everyone, welcome. I just got this in the mail today, and for some reason, I decided to get myself a Playdate. Now, if you have no idea what this thing is, it's a handheld system that plays very simple games, and it has a little crane on the side of it that you can use for gameplay. I was kind of interested in it. I decided to go ahead and just take the plunge on it just to see what this thing was like. And, this thing is actually really, really small. I'm actually kind of shocked how small it is. I thought it was going to be a little bit bigger, but no, it's actually very small. So this is the Playdate itself. And then I also got the cover. I decided to get purple for it, just to mix things up. So I'll put the cover to the side and let's go ahead and open this little guy up and see what this thing is all about. Doing this thing in real time. And part of the reason why I decided to go ahead and get it because it was announced that they were going to actually start raising the price on it. And, for me, if I was going to go ahead and get it, now would be the time before they officially raise the price of it. I'm trying to open this without like destroying the box. So let me try it this way. Doing this in real time. Come on. There it goes. So open it up, slide this out, and it says have fun. All right, hopefully I have fun with this. Wow, holy crap. That thing is small. Holy crap. This thing is tiny. Anyway, let's put this to the side there. Let's see what else we have in here. It looks like we got a little instruction manual. Welcome. Thank you so much for buying Playdate. To get started, press lock twice. I guess there's a lock button on the top of it. Your Playdate comes with a season of free games. They'll download every week once you set up Wi-Fi. Cool. All right. This must be the USB cable. And it's USB-C, which is good. All right, let's take a look at the cover itself. So with the cover, I think I paid about 230 bucks for this thing. It is kind of expensive, but at the same time, I have to say, first impressions on it, I mean, I can tell that they pretty much, in terms of construction, is actually really, really solid. Very clicky buttons. Oh yeah, they definitely know how to make a D-pad. So this is the kind of D-pad that there is like a center pivot. So you can't like press all four sides of the D-pad at once, which is good. Not sure what that button there is for. A and B, the lock, and let's take a look at this cover. This cover is like an extra like 20, 30 bucks, I think. So what is this just, oh wow, it's just magnetized. Okay. So you got these little pins here, you line up with those. And it just flops like that. So, you know, if you don't want to use it with the case or the cover, you can just take it off really easily. All right, that's cool. And I guess the magnets are being held where these little circle things are at. That's my guess. Cool. And that's how it looks like when it's in its cover. That's pretty cool. All right. Let me go ahead and get this thing all set up, ready to go. And I'll get back with you. All right, so I've had the Playdate for a little while now. Was going to do like an impression of the Playdate after the unboxing, but I decided to just go ahead, use it for a little bit. That way I can go back and basically slap on the longer term impressions on the Playdate. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of glad I did that because, ironically, like a couple days after I'd made that video, they issued an update. And let's just say that update kind of broke a lot of things. Even when I contacted customer support, they basically admitted that they realized there were issues with the software update that was causing battery drain issues. The device kept crashing, and I wanted to wait until they issued another update to hopefully fix those issues. So now that, you know, they issued the new update and started using this again, I have to say that I'm actually kind of surprised how often I would actually use this. And I have the entire first season downloaded on here. I went ahead and pre-ordered the season 2 for it, which was like 40 bucks for it. And I also bought and downloaded several other games on here. Now, one thing to note though is, yes, the games are small, but the one thing I've noticed right away when it comes to downloading the games onto this thing is that it is slow. And it seems like it's highly preferred using your computer to basically load the software onto here versus using Wi-Fi. But I wanted to do the Wi-Fi portion just because of the way the device is, it has Wi-Fi. I don't have to worry about using the computer. So that's what I did. But just note that it is slow when it comes to downloading, even though the file sizes are like really, really small. Now, so like I said before, I do have all of the first season on here. And, you know, this just gives you like an idea of what to expect. So, you know, I played this indoors. I tried it in my car. Even like on a nice sunny day, I took this with me, played it outside for a little while. I will say though, this is a really cool little system. If you just want something pocketable, if you live somewhere where it has a lot of nice sunny weather outside, a really cool little system to play some games on outdoors. And when you have the sun shining onto this thing, it is vivid. It just pops the screen. So that's something to keep in mind here. Now that there are more games available on here, or at least more interesting titles that seems more ambitious, there's even like first person shooters on this thing now, which is crazy when you think about it. So, it's a really cool little device here. I had some people I know try this out, and they all seem to like it. They told me it's like, this is actually kind of cool. It's different. So, and of course, you don't need the case. It's all magnets. So you can just have the device like this. But having this little slip cover thing, you can just close it up like this. It's held down with a magnet, so you kind of have to be intentional on, well, a little bit intentional on opening this thing up. But the biggest unique feature with this thing is the crane. It's like, yeah, you got your Game Boy style controls down here, but you do have your crane. You don't have to use the crane on every single game. There are some games that you don't even need to use the crane. But games that uses the crane, after you get used to it, after like a couple minutes and you understand like, how much you really need the turn. Yes, there are games where you might have to like crank the crank really, really quick, but there are others that you don't even need to do full 360 rotation. You can literally just, do this when you're playing. So it's basically like a form of an analog controller. So, and of course, when you don't need it, you can just put it away like that. And I actually really like this thing. Apart from the bad update they did on this thing, but besides that, this thing's actually been very solid. Now, if I go to my storage, hang on, let me connect to my Wi-Fi, because one thing I've noticed is that this doesn't really auto connect to other Wi-Fis. You basically select the Wi-Fi you want to have it prefer to connect to, and then once it finds that Wi-Fi, it'll just connect to that. But if I go to, what is the system? Okay, I guess I got to go to games. So I have 2.5 gigs free, and I think this has like a total of about 3 gigabytes total of storage on here, which doesn't sound a lot, but you have to remember there are games on here that are like one of the games I have is only 2 megabytes. There are larger ones that's like 158 megabytes. I wonder if that's, but there are also games on here that are actually in the kilobytes, so 290 kilobytes, under a megabyte. So that's something to keep in mind. Actually, let me make sure that one I stated, was that megabytes? Yeah, 158 megabytes, which is the largest one I have on here. But most of the majority of them are like well under 50 megabytes. There are a couple that are like a little bit more than that, but the majority of them are like under 50 megabytes. And if I let's see. Since doing the season one, let me. Okay, like Kelmore. This is like a first person dungeon crawler. But I mean, look at this. Look how smooth this is, though. It's really impressive just how smooth this is. Now, I'm kind of playing this upside down, but it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of games are possible on here. Oh, where's? Oh, there it is. So, like this game, for example, doesn't use the crane at all. So you can just put it back and just play like Game Boy style. And then, you know, if you want to go back to the home screen, you just press the menu button here. And the menu button also shows like other options that are game specific. So in this case, I have an option to show map. But depending on the games, they might have like other options on here. Now, if I do like an actual crane game, and it's loading. This is another 3D perspective game. But this game is entirely controlled by the crane. So you can like move around. And I crashed. And then here you got a couple of different options. So in this case, I can adjust the music, the sound effects, or I can just abandon the run. So I can just go back to the home screen here. And if I scroll to catalog, this is their little storefront. So obviously the Playdate Season 2 is there. But you can also see just what else is available here. And this is like another first-person dungeon crawler. So, I mean, there are some really interesting games coming out here. They're actually becoming a lot more ambitious, which is really impressive. And for that particular game, this is considered a more expensive game at $12. But a lot of the games are like under $5. You know, you're only talking about like a couple bucks per game for the most part. So like this one here is like $4. Let's see what this one is like. But remember what I said earlier about the Wi-Fi on this thing being really, really slow? This is the part that gets a little annoying, is that you're literally just waiting for it to load. So I don't know if it's like a Wi-Fi limitation or when it's trying to connect to the servers are just really, really slow. But it is nice to actually put music while you're going through the storefront. It kind of like brings back the days of the Wii and the Wii. Did the Wii? No, the Wii U had music, I think. I know the Wii did. But, it kind of like harpens back on those days. But yeah, I mean, you can see that it's still trying to load. I wonder if it's on their end, because I'm not saying it was like quick before, but this is like not even responding. Anyway, that just gives you like a rough idea. But I mean, that's the Playdate. I think these are like $120 for the system. I will say, for that kind of money, it is kind of expensive for what it is. But I guess the one argument I would say, though, is that this is